book reviews wherein I review books within 5 minutes. We are going to review a very special book today, something that I am in love with. But before that, if you haven't yet subscribed to Melody Unix, please go ahead and click on the link in the description below and subscribe to our channel. Also, if you haven't watched our previous conversations, bookvasations, quick book reviews and all the other videos that we've posted, please go ahead, watch them, and I'm sure that you're going to have a lot of fun. Now, without further ado, let's talk about the book of the day, and that is Diasy Jones and the Six. I am not sure if you have watched the show or if you've read this amazing novel by Taylor Jenkins Reid, but you haven't read that, you should definitely add this to your TBR and pick this as your next read. I'm going to give you a lot of reasons why you should do that, but before that, I'm going to introduce you to this author, Taylor Jenkins Reid. If you haven't read her works, you should definitely go ahead and read more about her, more about the books that she's written, and of course read the books that she's written because they're super duper amazing. Now, Taylor Jenkins Reid is a critically acclaimed writer who resides in Los Angeles. She has written a lot of amazing novels, and a very famous book by her is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo that also became a TikTok sensation, if you don't already know that. The first book that I read by her was called After I Do, and I read it in one sitting. It was that good. And then I went on to read other books by her called One True Loves and Forever Interrupted. I've also read 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, so I knew how marvelous and how spectacular as a writer she is. She knows how to write about human emotions. She knows how to write about complex relationships. And that is what's very, very beautiful about her. Now let's talk about Diasy Jones and the Six and why I picked it up in the first place and how my journey was. Now, Diasy Jones and the Six is this spectacular novel written by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this book is about a band called The Six, and how an individual solo singer called Daisy joins the band at a later stage, and how the band then becomes Diasy Jones and the Six, and how this band becomes the biggest sensation in the 1970s. So this book is a fiction, by the way, and if you think that this is something that's real, like me, I thought that this is a real band, you're mistaken. It's not a real band. So fun fact there, I picked this book up thinking that it is about a band, and let's just read what this is about. I initially was a little skeptical about this book because I'm not so much fond of bands and reading about them, but I saw that this show got released, and it was only after that that I thought that before I watch the show, let me just go ahead and pick the book, because I know that Taylor Jenkins Reid is an amazing writer and she might have done something amazing with the book as well. So I just went to the bookstore, picked this book in particular. I never pick books like this, and I came back and I read the book in a couple of days. And after that, I was so thrilled. I googled Diasy Jones for I don't know how long, only to be disheartened with the fact that this is not a real band and Diasy Jones is not a real person. The book is inspired by this famous band called Fleetwood Mac, but it is not a real story. Now, when you start reading this book, the first page is called the author's note, wherein it's mentioned that 8 years of research went into interviewing the band members, and then only was the author able to write the book. Now, you know that this book is fiction, but then how was the research done, and why did the author interview all of these people? And I'm not going to give any spoilers here, but this author is not exactly Taylor Jenkins Reid. It is a character from the book. So yes, that was one misconception that I had when I started reading this book, and which is why I had to Google numerous times why Diasy Jones and the Six is not a real band, and if it is, why am I not able to look for their songs and everything. So yes, this is what happens. Now the story revolves around this band called The Six. They start as a normal band. They start from their home with this main character called Billy Dunn and his brother Graham Dunn. Both of them form a band, and then they add a couple of more members, and they start auditioning for records and everything. They eventually become a famous band called The Six with an album launched already. But then they were asked to introduce a female singer in the band, which they do not have. So this is where Diasy Jones steps into the band and she changes the dynamics of the band entirely. How things change after that and what happens, why the band ends up splitting after, their first famous album, which makes them world famous, which makes them a sensation in the whole world, is what you'll have to read in the book. I'm not going to talk about that. But this is something that you really need to read. I mean, if you haven't read this book, you're missing out on a lot, by the way. And guess what? This is not it. Taylor Jenkins Reid did not only write a book, she also wrote the songs of the band. Yes, guys, she just went ahead and wrote songs. I mean, I know that she's an amazing writer. I know that, she can write about bands, and I know that she can write romance, and I know everything about her. But when you see the lyrics of the songs and when you see the songs at the end of the book, that is when you know that there is nobody else like Taylor Jenkins Reid. She is amazing. I mean, I don't know what else to say about her. And yes, that was part one, wherein I read the book. I was amazed and I couldn't stop thinking about Diasy Jones and the Six. But then I went a step ahead and I watched the series. And oh my god, I was blown away. It was amazing. Everything in the show, every depiction of the character, the way they are represented, the way they talk, they walk, they sing, everything is spectacular. It is mind-blowing, honestly. And when you see all of these songs that you read about come to life on the show, that is when you know that there is no going back. This is something that's going to stay with you for ages, and you will never ever forget the show and of course the book. And you'll never forget the writer, the Taylor Jenkins Reid, for her amazing work, because she has left a mark on you and she has that thing in her. The way she writes, her writing is so amazing, so splendid, that it will leave a mark on you forever and ever and ever. A few specifics about this book would be that 1, it is historical fiction. 2, it does not have an age rating as such, so you can just go ahead and pick this book, start reading, whichever age group you're from, it doesn't really matter. 3, it has a Goodreads rating of 4.2, which is amazing. 4, the show, which is based on the same book, has an IMDb rating of 8.1, so it is going to be an amazing show. And with that, we have come to an end of this quick book review. I hope you like this. I hope you liked listening about Diasy Jones and the Six. If you have read this book already, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about the book or what you thought about the show. And if you haven't read it, please go ahead and add Diasy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid to your TBR. I would love to see what you guys think after you read the book. And yes, I'm going to bid adieu to all of you. But before I take your leave, please give us a big fat thumbs up and let us know in the comment section below what you would like to see next, what you would like me to review next. I would love to, read the book and review. If I have read that book already, I would love to give a review about that book. And yes, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more such updates. Do not forget to subscribe to Melody Unix on YouTube. And yes, thank you. Bye-bye.